Hey, good Saturday morning. Quick story. I had some available time. I think it was Tuesday evening, and I decided after 20 years of coaching, I never really had a chance to go back to my high school alma mater and watch them play. I was there coaching against them a few times, but never had a chance to watch them play. And so Tuesday night, I said I'll swing by and check out the old team. I know the coach well. Well, doggone, there was a friend of mine in the stands. So I sat and talked to him for a few minutes. We played basketball together in high school, and he left as the second half started. His dad was still there, and lo and behold, a story from probably 1985, could have been 86 maybe. Um, I was on my way home from, I think, picking up one of my siblings at school, and this guy's younger brother, same age as me. We got to hot rodding beside one another, coming up a country road, and both of us just took off. And I got around him, and as I looked in my rearview mirror, I saw his '68 Mustang drop off the right-hand side of the road, and he overcorrected. And here I am driving only two cars on the road at night, driving, I guess probably east. And man, I see his car zoom across the road, and then just taillights and headlights flipping in a field. It's now residential development, but then it was just a field. And man, I flipped around and came back, and he and his brother were both safe. But the first thing out of his mouth was, "Don't tell him we was racing. Don't tell him we was racing." And so I didn't tell him we was racing. I don't know that I thought about whether I was going to lie or not at the moment, but I didn't say we were zooming. And man, I went and got his preacher, and his parents showed up, and the law showed up, and one thing then another, and the truth never came out legally that we were speeding. The law officer may have known it, but didn't have any proof of it, and but ultimately the truth came out as he confessed, and then I was caught right there in the lie with him. Well, that's relevant because of this. Happened almost 40 years ago, at least 38 years ago. Happened almost 40 years ago. And his 80-year-old father looked at me Tuesday night. He said, "Every time I see you, I think about that wreck." And I thought, not one of my better days, okay? First of all, speeding. Second of all, lying. Not one of my better days. And maybe his thought was, my boys walked away from that wreck. Boy, I sure am glad. I think about that. Maybe his thought was that '68 Mustang be worth a lot of money today. Maybe he thinks about that. But regardless, what I would like to forget from my past was the first thing he remembered when he saw me. Listen, since then, I've graduated high school, I've graduated college, I've gotten married, I've been a pastor for 30 years, I've had 3 children, and the thing that stands out in his mind is the night me and his son and I were racing, and his son lost control and totaled a vehicle, and we lied about it. Man, that just kind of stung me because it wasn't one of my brighter moments. And I was thinking about Luke chapter 15 and verse 17. Luke 15 is about the prodigal son. He took his half of the inheritance. He left. He squandered it. He went and did an unbelievable task, a job for someone of Jewish origin. And Luke 15:17 says, "And then one day he came to himself." That tells me that the rebellious boy really wasn't him. I mean, he did it. No doubt that he did it. But it really wasn't him. He was following, temptation. He was following lust. He was following greed. But one day he came back to himself. I'm glad that my worst moment in my life, and that probably wasn't my worst moment, but certainly not one of my best. I'm glad that my worst moment in my life didn't define me for all my life. How about King David? His worst moments in his life didn't even define him. And he did some pretty scandalous things too. And so be grateful for the mercy and forgiveness of God, for overcoming even poor reputations and bad testimonies through the grace and forgiveness of God and long suffering of God. Be thankful that you're not maybe who you were at your very worst moment, but you're better than that because of what Christ has done in your life. Hey, I'm at the church because we've got men's breakfast this morning. If God created you male and you'd like to get together and fellowship with us this morning, you still got time. Get ready and get up here because we're going to eat and fellowship and learn a little bit at 8 o'clock. And I'd love to see you there. For those of you that are female, thank you for watching, and we appreciate your prayers and encouragement as we seek to minister together as men. And I hope you will have a great, great Saturday. Take care and God bless.